This next one talks about how to bypass controls in your cutscenes. It should prove very useful when you need to have one scene run in multiple different places. Now, one advantage of having your physics and handling in a completely separate class or resource like I did is that you don't need to have the more complicated code here. What you can do is you can go like this, go new script again. Remember, that's how we make them in the first place. But we say vehicle controller here, and we name it cutscene controller. Now, as you can see, this is our vehicle controller. We'll go up here and say class name cutscene. And let's see here. What do we actually want to do? Well, we can override all of these things. So what we might do is when we make an instance of this, we'll still pick up the different values that you see here, like wheelbase, steering, engine power, all that. But we can just ignore them and say, do whatever we want to do here. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to say func handle physics. And if we go back and see what this thing takes in, it's these guys. So we'll pass those in. And for now, oops, I'm just going to pass. Actually, you know what I'll do? I have to return here. I will return, let's see here. This is if it's turning or not. I'll just return 0 for now. Okay. And the next thing I'm actually going to do is I'm going to reduce the time on this considerably. 0.5, and I will make it not go as far, and I will make it faster because it's sort of annoying how you can make it go a little slower and then come back much more quickly. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to say for our cutscene controller, we got to figure out a way to make this so that the instance we create will actually do what we want it to. So I'm going to try something first, see if it will work. Say animation player. If I look at car controller, okay, it doesn't look like it. Unless, do I need a new animation? Okay, so it looks like I cannot animate things for this, which is fine. We don't actually need to. It was just a thought to do something really dirty, but we're not going to do it. Instead, we're going to do this sort of in the clean way. And what that means is, well, if we look at our cutscene controller, it doesn't do anything. It literally, none of those functions matter here except for handle physics. All of the rest of these basically should be private. I probably should have made them private. Indicated privacy with the underscore. But I don't really need to do anything special here. So what I can do, instead of all the rigmarole where I'm trying to control the player, like at this point, if I run this, I can't control the player anymore. Oh, actually I can. Hang on, let me go like this. I have to actually create an instance, new resource, cutscene vehicle controller. 1. Go to player, drag cutscene over to the basic. But now, up and down does nothing. Turning does nothing. Hitting M, which is the mode to switch, does nothing. What that means is now we have control of our player without having to do anything special. So we can do a ton of different things here. The easiest one I'm going to show you, this one can easily be done with characters as well. It doesn't have to be vehicles or cars or things like that. I'm going to use a car just because I think it looks cooler. And it's for the game I'm actually working on. We're going to do a path. Let a path follow. And we're going to do a remote transform 2D. And the path to that is going to be the player. Now for the player, we're actually going to do something up here to make this a little bit less sort of silly. We say set physics process false. Now what that means is we have to be careful because physics is not going to play a part in this. But it doesn't really have to. We can guarantee that we're not going to run into anything with this. We don't have to check anything. That's the important bit. So let's go ahead and add to our path. I think I'm going to do something just a little bit interesting so we can ensure that it's going. We don't have to do anything too weird here. Hit the little close button. You can't really see it, but it did close it off. And just for my own sanity, I'm going to take the rounder guys here. Get rid of that altogether. And that. And that. And the rounder is just a thing that lets you basically round off these path points. It technically what it does is it tessellates the number of points in between and then sort of smooths everything out. And it doesn't have to be too special. Path follow. Let's see here. Loop, rotate. I think these are all good. We don't need camera to rotate, but our character needs to rotate. So that will happen. And this is not rotating. Perfect. Okay. So for our default animation, we're going to say how long does it take to speed around this track. Let's say we'll say 20 seconds. It's not really a big deal, but all we're really going to do here is set our unit offset. There we go. Skip down to the end of it. And we'll set our unit offset to 1. Notice the unit means the full length. We do have loop on, so for animation player we can hit that and it will automatically just go back and continue going. Let's see. No, of course not, except for it to tell it to go. You see it goes off on its own. Doing all these wacky things, and I'm not controlling it. That is incredibly useful for cutscenes. You may not need them to loop. You might just draw out a path on your map. This could be for a top-down game. It could even be for a a platformer or any type of shooter game, anything like that. You might draw out a path, and you might have the character pause at places, for example, to look around a corner. And you can do as many complicated things as you want with a path. It doesn't get any more complicated than this. And that's really nice.